What's up, my cannonballs? We're back for a short, quick second. I thought I was going to be able to lay down, but it's like when you move around so much, when it's that time for you to lay down, um, your body don't it can't seem to shut down, and I hate that. Hold on, because my ears are stopped up, and it sounds very weird when I'm listening to myself talk. So I guess I'm just have to rough it, just like everybody else is. But yeah, it's just like my body is having a hard time shutting down at times. Around like last night, oh my goodness, last night was kind of very, very difficult for me to go to sleep because what did I do? Oh, I did some. I had to go do some things yesterday, and me coming back home, I don't know why it's like this all the time. It's like whatever I may be doing in the moment, it feels like I'm getting like restless, well, just tired, And when I get home, it's like, uh, I'm wide awake. I got some more energy. It's like I need to learn. I need to learn how to just shut it off. Just shut it on off because I need the rest. And I don't know. I don't like yawning and feeling like drowsy during the day because it's things that I gotta handle. Like today, I gotta have some. I gotta go to some. I gotta go to a service later on in the evening. Then I have to go. Um, I may have to do some work for someone that may need me, but that depends on if it rains. So if it doesn't rain, I go ahead and go. But if it does, I just have to miss out on that. But yeah, and then I think that's a little bit why I may be a little bit cranky because I'm just not satisfied with the limited time that I have, and the time that I do have that is limited. It just seems like the hours just go by so fast, and it's like, you can't really get too much of, I would say, alone time because you still got to get up and do what you got to do and handle certain things, and it's just like, okay, okay, here we go again. So, sometimes for a night, well, really how I end most of my nights is like, hmm, maybe around by, well, I would say this, I could say it like this. How I end most of my nights, I only may get um, maybe about um, 3 or 4 hours of sleep. Yeah, I know that sounds so bad. It sounds so bad, but it's the truth. I think that's why I be kind of like very, very irritable when it comes to certain things. Like I get very, very irritable, or really just irritated when it comes to certain things because people be pissing me off, you know. And I'm trying to like turn the other cheek at times instead of just lashing out. Cause oh man, sometimes you can lash out. And I'm just trying to like do like a 360 and just kind of like take a few breaths, maybe even pray. You know what I mean? Just maybe even throw a little prayer up in the air, out there. Cause boy, when I tell you, sometimes when I'm being called from, really called to do this and do that, it can really make me feel like, damn, is anybody considerate about John? Like, damn, John may not have the energy at times. I have to shake it off. I have to pop a pill or something, a pain pill to be exact, not any other substance that can get you high. I ain't doing all of that. What is this? Oh, that one I got it on. Okay. But yeah, sometimes I have to pop a pain pill. But yeah, but I'm just gonna be, speaking about some random things. I'm not coming on here for an, just. No, I'm not gonna be on here for hours. But one thing that really bothers me about certain things. Now we're switching the topic. One thing that bothers me about when calling, well, when you talk to people on the phone, and it seems like, you know, do people really be listening to you? Like, are you? I mean, like, is your attention span short, or are it really you just kind of just not that interested? And I feel like a lot of folks don't really be that interested. I think you got to really pull people in and greet, just kind of you got to pull them in. You got to be talking about something very, very interesting for them to be really, keeping their undivided attention while you're on the phone with them. Hey, variable assassin. You know, you gotta keep their attention. And sometimes I feel like sometimes when it comes to individuals that I do talk to, and I can't stand this, it's like. You're giving me the wrong response, and then you also talking to people in the background, which I can't stand that. If you're gonna talk to me, you better talk to me. Look, we need to be talking and have a conversation because I need your feedback. You know, I really don't like repeating myself, but I will repeat myself so you can understand what we're talking about. But it's like, damn, give me your full undivided attention. You know, I hate when people be at work. you know, I have this issue. I my cousins. I got cousins that like they'll be at work. Cousins and friends, they'll be at work sometimes, and I guess I guess they don't mean to do it on purpose, but it's a thing that happens all the time. It's like, damn, I'm talking to my damn self. I'm trying to make a point, and I ain't even getting. I may need a little bit of your feedback, and you ain't even coming. You're not trying to keep up to with what I'm saying to you, and that sometimes make me feel like, damn, y'all motherfuckers ain't listening. And I can't stand when people don't listen, because that really makes me feel like you ain't giving a damn about what the fuck I'm saying to you, and it really rubs me the wrong way sometimes. I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't gonna lie, it rubs me the wrong way, and it makes me feel like, damn, maybe I just need to keep it really really short, because it seems like if I extend certain things, because I know I can be a little bit long winded, like a little bit of a rambler, and I know people that do ramble. I understand that sometimes you may get lost, because sometimes some folks can try to make a point, but they point be extended. Now don't get me wrong, I'm trying to work on my listening skills, because sometimes I can run my mouth so much, and then and not be really listening. When it comes to certain things, and I gotta, I gotta do a 360 when it comes to that, because sometimes that shit be really, really kicking in a lot for me. So I'm not just, saying it for them. I also, this is something for me too as well. Okay, I'm just saying it's something for me too as well, because sometimes I just, I just want somebody to be like, hey, I understand. Hey, whatever we talking about, I'm gonna give you my opinion. I don't need to be talking and talking and talking, and I'm not, you're not saying anything. It's like, well, why did I even mention this topic to you? You know, that's just one of my pet peeves. I can't stand that. That just it irritates me. I just can't stand it, because I ain't gonna lie to you. I have always been that person where folks come to me, we have conversations. I mean, sometimes we may talk about the same old thing, maybe for the hundredth done time, well, the hundredth time, and I don't mind giving them the same, or maybe giving them a different approach to it, because at the same time we all are grown. So therefore, I'm not gonna baby a grown person, but I just tell a grown person all of what I can tell them. My fellow peers, and some of them my uncles and aunties. I tell them. So I do. I gravitate more towards older people than younger people. I don't know why it's like that, you guys, but it's like that. But sometimes a lot of older people that's older than me, you know, they tend to like, they like me more than the younger people, and I never understood that, which is why I like older people. You know, I don't really too much care. You do too, variable. I don't really too much care to be around too much around my peers, too much, because a lot of them, well, some of them, not all of them. I can't speak for all of them, but the ones that I may know of, or just know that they are around my age. Some of them, sometimes I just don't want to be around them, because it seems like, when you take them out somewhere, they either are being goofy, and I don't like being around people that are goofy when we are out in public, because not only we come in as a group, but you are a reflection. Everybody, I feel like everybody's in the group are a reflection of each other. And it's like, don't make one look bad, because you gonna make everybody look bad. Everybody should have been taught that, but some people don't. Everybody has their own way of teaching their kids. You know what I'm saying? They on the internet. What's up with see got the Christian TV? Everybody has their own way of teaching their kids, but everybody don't have good manners. They don't have good manners, and I'm just like, oh my goodness, how do you in the hell do you expect me to be around you? And you are acting like this. Why I always gravitate to older people. You know what I'm saying? I love that, because they know how to act. Now, don't get me wrong. I do know the one. It's some older people that's up there in age. That they don't know how to handle certain things. Like, and by that I mean they're liquor. So therefore, they may act a fool. But for the ones I'm talking about, for the level headed ones out there, for those type of ones, hey, I want to be around you guys, okay? Because you guys know how to act and you guys know how to tip, okay? Because some people don't know how to, look. I'm just now tipping these people. I am just now, look. I am just now learning, this whole tipping thing. Because usually I wouldn't use, usually I wouldn't tip at all. But I'm learning, I'm doing it. But some people don't know. Some people feel like, oh, they don't deserve a tip. Well, hell, you know what? They are scratching and surviving just like you. So hell, hey, go ahead, go bless them. Give them a 15 or 20. They got bills too. And I totally get it now. Because a couple of years ago, I was like, the tip was in the check on that Friday when they get that direct deposit. But I was totally wrong. It's not. You know, that was just my immature side. But I'm learning to be, hey, go out there and hey, drop a few dollars on the table when you leave. Shoot, one time when I was out by myself, because I do go to places by myself. I done went to the movies and I done went to, just different restaurants by myself because I don't mind it. Because hell, I don't need someone I don't need someone across the table, for me to say, oh, I need to go. Well, just to say, hold on, what I'm saying. I don't need anybody that's across the table for me to not to to want to go out. I don't. I go out by myself. That has always been me. I have always been that person that just loves to not follow everybody. I'm not following the leader. I'm gonna be my own damn leader, okay? Which is why my circle is like it is right now. It's very, very small. Very, very small. But when I was out, one time I was going to tip a lady, but she ended up clocking out, and she was just so nice. But so I ended up, blessing the Caucasian man that came. I'm like, you know what, hey, since my waitress left, I was gonna give her a little something because she did bring my stuff kind of fast, and she hauled ass because it was time for her to get off. But I decided out the kindness of my heart, because sometimes when I ain't gonna lie, I have been guilty of this. If I had a drink or two, I may feel a little generous to give you a little bit more than what I intended to. So I just like, when it came to that, I was just like, should I give this 10 to him? And I was like, I really wanted to give to the sister. I like to give, and I like supporting my sisters. I ain't gonna lie to you, I do. And so therefore, she was gone. So I was like, yeah, you know what? For F it, I'm just gonna give it to him. And I did that, and shit. When I did that, I feel like, you know what, hell, just because she went ahead and clocked that don't mean I can hold that blessing back and not give it to someone that may need it, because you just never know. Hell, $10 can, at 10 or 5 or 20, it can take care of some things that you need to take care of if you don't have that amount on you. It don't matter what it is, and hopefully, I can be an example to people that are cheap, because I'm a cheapskate. I'm very, very cheap. I'm very, very cheap. Look, I am a. Oh my goodness, I feel like I'm telling a little bit too much about business, but I don't care. I don't care like that. I like, for real. I don't care because look, I don't care about people's opinions of me that much, to the point where I feel like I'm scared to speak and say certain things. Because hell, at the end of the day, who are really, who am I, and who are you? It's like we can't really say anything too much bad just because hell, shit, we all are imperfect, But yeah, what I was saying, okay. Oh yeah, I be having my see. I be going on. So I be talking so much to the point where I be forgetting my next point. But it's all right. I'm trying to reel it on back in. But you said you said I would have gave him 5 cents. She left. Yeah, I wanted. Yeah, you know what? I was gonna get another drink, but I was like, nah. So I left. Well, so I just decided to just say, hey, you can take that. What's up, Pretty LaBelle? Now, I should have gave him 5 though. I really should, because them drinks was expensive. I ain't gonna lie to you, they was pretty expensive. So he should have got that 5. But see, that was that alcohol kicking in. So yeah, I was. I was at alcohol a little bit. I was like, I felt a little generous that day. It's not an everyday It's not an everyday thing that I really do. That I don't. It's not an everyday thing that how can I say that? It's not an everyday thing that I do, but when I do it, I will do it. It's on it. But you know what? You gotta show me good service, because if you don't show me good service, I'm not giving you a goddamn dime. Which is why I don't like going to um, the Mexicans. Don't get me wrong. I know every Mexicans ain't the same. All Mexicans ain't the same. But when they give you crappy ass service, you walk on in And it's like you waiting damn near 30 minutes before somebody come see you, all because they so busy socializing with each other, going in and out the bathroom. Yes, I done seen it all. Yes, indeed. And then they go on the other tables. That's and it's like, damn, you don't see me here. I just came up in this motherfucker. Y'all wanna, y'all looking at me like, okay, here's another Negro, and y'all ain't, like, come on now. It behooves me how that race treats African Americans, but at the same damn time, ah, at the same damn time, y'all trying to stay over here with us. They kind of remind me of the Arabs and the Chinese too. They look. I ain't gonna lie to you, all of them in the same boat. If you ask me, they are. I ain't gonna lie, they are. They are. I ain't gonna lie to you. What's up, Johnny Mac? They are. They all. For me, they all in the same boat. They don't give a damn. They don't. They look. They are just only wanting us to spin, 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 spin. They gonna put their own price on their shit, and they expect us to be happy about it. I ain't happy about a goddamn thing, especially when the service is crappy. They all got some crappy ass services. I ain't gonna lie to you. I have maybe I don't know if it's just the Arkansas thing, but I ain't gonna lie. They just been crappy lately, and the food's been trash. I mean, Purdue trash. Okay, sloppy ass services, sloppy ass waitresses. I mean, just ugh. And one thing I have noticed when I go to a Mexican restaurant, where's all the black people at? I'm seeing all the white here and white there. Where is the black people at up in here? Is it some type of discrimination? Y'all just only want to work with y'all kind and white folks? 'Cause that's all I see around town in Mexican restaurants. It's white folks and Mexicans in their own, well, they're really their own kind. And I have a little bit of an issue with that. It's like, damn, y'all don't want no niggas up in here. Hmm? But y'all want nigga money though. But y'all don't want to hire the nigga, but you want nigga money though. Make that make sense. I'm just saying. I don't understand sometimes. It be like, I be raising an eyebrow on some of these hoes. That's why I be look. And now when it comes to them hoes, you may get $2. Yeah, you gave me a draft, but you wasn't fast enough with the draft. So hell. And then when I was trying to, and then when I tried to get another draft, it took even longer to get that draft. Like, oh no, you get $2. I remember I had one person tell me, I ain't gonna lie to you, they told me, they gonna tell the nerd to tell me, they gonna say, that dollar that you're leaving me is going in the same place, and I guess it wasn't going in their pocket. And that's the thing too. If you are a waitress or a waiter, okay, because if you are doing that type of job, anything, you can accept anything. Okay, what if the person doesn't really have it like that? Some folks don't really realize that. But what if you didn't have it like that? Well, really that day. And that's all that you had. Hell, I would have took it. I ain't gonna lie. I'm not lying to you. Everything counts to me, and it would add up. Yeah, sure. I had somebody to tell me they left it there because they was like that wasn't enough. You a damn fool. Hell, it don't matter if it wasn't enough. It's still money. Put it in your pocket. Be thankful because you couldn't have got that. Shit, you could have got a messy ass table. And nowadays, you know what? Nowadays, I ain't gonna lie to you. Nowadays, I've been seeing folks clean up their table for their waitresses. Now, ain't nothing wrong with that. Me personally, I don't really do that, but I will get a little paper towel and wipe a little mess up. But I'm not finna just go Susie. What is it? I'm not gonna be cleaner woman around this bitch. No, I ain't finna do all that. No, no. Look, they are getting paid to do that shit. So therefore, we're gonna leave them. We're gonna leave our stuff on the table like it is a little bit. We're gonna make it look. We can make it look a little. We can make it look a little clean, but we're gonna leave it like it is because that's their job. I don't want to be. For me, it's just all about the service. I just want good service. And lately, I've been turned off from eating out. I rather cook my food at the house because a lot of this stuff has been turning me off. And I think that's probably why, you know, um, my weight be going up. Well, I would say no, it ain't got nothing to do with the weight. But I think that's probably why I just kind of just choose to do what I do at the house. Cause, I mean, if it's not good, you know, if it's not good, I just can't. I can't mess with that. I just can't mess with that, and I don't want to spend my money on that. I don't want to. I don't want to continue trying to spend. I don't want to continue spending my money on things, trying to see if I'm gonna get a different result, and I get the same result every damn time. Like, what a waste of money. What a waste of time. What a waste. What a waste. I don't want to do that. You got some people out here that would kind of go to the same spot, and even though it may not be that good, they asses will still support certain people that's not giving them good food and service. It's like, no, that's a no go for me. That's a no go for me. How dare I? I wish I would. Look, I'd be ready to take a bet out and whip my own ass, okay? Like, no, we ain't doing that. Mm-mm. And I want to suggest to you, some of you guys that may be listening to this in the future, don't do it. Don't do it. Mm-mm. If the service ain't right, look, don't go no. Look, please don't go back no more, and please don't be tipping them niggas at all. 'Cause they don't deserve it. Hell, giving coming out. Who in the hell is coming out here? Thinking that they finna start a business and the food ain't even good enough. It's nasty. I done seen it too many times. People get a look. They get a trailer, build a grill. I want them tanks, and they want to go on. They want to go set up shop on the corner somewhere and trying to sell that shit. Now some people are successful at it, but some ain't. If that ain't your thing, that ain't your thing. Like, I ain't gonna lie to you. My grandfather always told me. He said, what did he say? He said, the best thing to get into if you want to really make some money is the food industry. If you want to, just really selling food. But that's a lot. That even by doing that, and that is very true what he said. Even by doing that, you gotta be very, 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 very cautious, and you gotta know what you're doing. You better have some good ingredients, because who wants to serve someone with bad food and then they coming back asking for their money back? It's like a waste of your time right there, and your profit. You losing profit, and customers. And you're wasting money on your profit because you ain't doing it right. So that's why you need to learn hard. That's why it's important to look to look at the instructions. Okay, to look at the instructions. If you want to try to go off into doing something like that with the public, make sure your ingredients is on point, because you don't want to waste your money. You know, you gotta, in order for your business to be, in my eyes, to prosper, you know, you gotta put your own shit in there. You gotta put your own money into it. And if you put your own money into it, and you ain't seeing no results from that, you're wasting your damn time. You need to find another occupation, and that's the truth. It really is the truth. It's the truth. Look, I done worked. I look. I done, I'm not that busy. I mean, I'm not business savvy like that. But from the things that I picked up off of other people, it's important to know what you're doing before you start doing it. You just can't wake up and be like, hey, I want to be an entrepreneur today. It takes a whole lot. You gotta make sure your quality is up to date. It's looking right. You just can't just throw out. You just can't throw something out there to the public and expect them to be like, okay, you black, so we finna support you. No, you know, it gotta be quality. It's what, how they say, it's not quantity. It's not quantity. It's quality. Yes, and that's very true. Now I ain't gonna lie. Some years ago, when I heard that saying, I was like, what does that mean? But then now I understand what it means. Yes, it's about the presentation. Here's about the presentation. Now we can see all this other stuff on the menu, but how that presentation is gonna be looking, how that taste gonna be tasting to our giving to how it's gonna be tasting in our taste buds and our mouths and shit. Like, is it gonna are we gonna have a part in our mouth with that with whatever you are cooking? You know what I'm saying? Like, are we gonna be coming back for more and more and more? Because I like them. I would love to have a spot where people would love to come back for more and more and more. Have them lines from look really wrapped around the building. I would love a business like that, because that's gonna be making you some money every year, especially when you know what you're doing, and you know what I'm saying. Oh my goodness, look, oh my goodness, I'm just gonna look, I'm gonna keep praying, because that's one thing I do aspire to be, my own business person. I want to be a businessman. And I want to have my own businesses. And when I say that, I really do mean that. I've been always feeling that. I've always been thinking it, and I just gotta just have the money to do it. I ain't gonna lie to you, which is why I gotta do some things in order for those things to happen. You know, it ain't gonna happen overnight, but in due time. And if they don't happen, it's always other things you can always. It's always other avenues that you can go out there and make it happen for yourself. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's always other things, but yeah, that's just how I be thinking sometimes. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm kind of obsessed. When I see, I'm obsessed with that world a little bit. I am. I'm obsessed with that. Just having your own brand. I love that. I think watching when I used to watch The Housewives, and just seeing all those people with their own stuff, it was like, wow, I wish that could be me one day. And again, it could be something small, because sometimes people start off small, and they get up to a level like a BB, or what is her name, or BB Dovey, BB, hold on, Big Booty Judy, or somebody like that, with the drops and stuff like that, or a super, you know. that comes a dime a dozen. But you know, hey, when you got support and you got people that's backing you and supporting you, they can make it. It's gonna happen. You look your supporters. 'Cause I don't like that fan word, but the supporters are gonna make it happen, man. But yes, indeed. Look, I ain't gonna lie to you. I wish I could have supported more people in this sector that had things. But sometimes I ain't gonna lie. Just when life happens, life happens. So sometimes life be life, and so therefore you gotta be smart about your spending. So, but that's But at the same time, when things get back up right, I will be making a few phone calls and saying, "Hey, I need that. I need this. I need that. I need this." Because I love to support people that have supported my channel. And I don't mind putting whatever I may receive, okay, back into someone's pocket. So they can, their business can flourish even more. I love it. I tell you, I love it. My mind is, I promise you, my mind. I just in my mind, in my mind, I just have so many different creative things that I would love to come that I would love for it to come to pass. Which is why I gotta just keep on speaking and also keep on putting the work. I gotta put work towards these actions and these thoughts that I'm thinking, because faith without works is dead. You can pray about it all you want to, but if you're not putting anything behind that or doing anything to get to that, you won't never see that. You know what I mean? You won't never see that. So I don't want to. I not only want to just talk about it, I also want to be a prime example and be about it. And show people that, hey, y'all may have doubted me, y'all may have called me this and called me that, but look at me now. Look at me now. And I won't be. And when I'm gonna say this, and I'm finna get up on out of here. You know, whenever that time comes for me, I would say when I'm elevating, because I'm a brother. I'm gonna keep it real. A brother right now is a little bit stagnant right now. Okay, I got some things on the back end, front end that I'm just kind of stuck a little bit. But I'm gonna get out of that. But one thing I won't do, I won't throw whatever God has blessed me with in someone's face. I wouldn't do that, because he gives it. He can give it to you. He also can take away from you. And you don't want to be like that. I don't want it. I don't want to ever be like that. I don't care if someone says something really nasty to me. Honestly, I'd have let a lot of stuff that I have heard on here and in real life go. It's just words. And honestly, it's just words. It's just words. You can choose to let the word hurt you. That someone may say to you. But if you don't feel like that, baby, you need to just let that go. Brush it off. Brush it off. There's no need. There's no need to hold on to There's no need to hold on to something that's not true about you. I don't answer the things that people think I am. Hell, if you thinking that, I don't feel that. I don't feel that way. I don't feel that way at all. I really don't. Like when people think that they are really going in on me, I don't feel like that. That's how you feel. That's how you perceive me. That's how you perceive me. Go right ahead. But at the same time, someone would judge you in a way bigger way than I would. Okay, I'm just saying. That's just me, honestly. You see, I believe in you. Oh my goodness, I believe in your talent. Go ahead and do it. I know that's right. That's why I gotta make some moves. I gotta make some moves, and It's one thing. You guys don't think I'm getting a cold because I'm going. Look, it's been hot and cold, hot and cold. So I'm having a little issue with my throat and my nasal. I hope I'm not being. I hope not. Well, I hope. Hopefully, I'm not allergic to anything or having allergies. But yeah, it's some things that I gotta change right now. I'm scared, but I gotta do it. I gotta do it. I gotta do it. I can't go into details about it on here because people will just take it and run with it and talk about it. And I ain't got. I just can't. I gotta learn how to. I gotta learn to keep folks out of certain business. So, but when that day come, you got certain individuals will know it. certain individuals will know it, and they're gonna be happy for me because I promise you, it's been a trying couple of years. It's been a trying couple of years. That's really all I can really say. It's been very, very trying dealing with what I have been dealing with since 2011. You know, so hopefully things work. Well, I'm not gonna say hopefully. they will work out. And that's the problem with me now. I can't say hopefully. They will. I gotta say they will work out. See, that's the enemy trying to doubt me. Well, no, that's the enemy trying to get me have it in my head that like it ain't gonna work. But when it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. And whenever that does happen for me, for a new change, I promise you, I'm gonna be ready for it. Because I feel like right now, it's time. It's time to get off the titty. You know, it's time. It's time to stop feeling enslaved to certain things, held bound by chains and rules. You know, when it comes to certain things, I'm talking very subliminal right now, but if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I mean. Mm-hmm. But yes, indeed, it's just time for a little change. And I'm a little nervous, but you know, I know if I keep my faith, I know that I'm gonna be all right. I'm gonna be all right. I'm gonna be all right. Well, you guys, it's been real. I appreciate you guys for coming on. I know it was different random topics, but you know that's just me off top. I'm not trying to just be on here and have you guys look at a fish tank and not say anything. You know, you guys maybe laying down, looking at your phones, or doing working. You know, people do a lot of folks work at night, and then honestly they need something to listen to besides music. So hopefully I can get in the algorithm of someone that's maybe on their job right now, or just driving, or just in the bed. It's just that they need someone to listen to go to sleep. You know, hopefully I'm one. Hopefully I'm a pick. I'm in the source. Hopefully, but you guys, it's been real. I'm trying to think if is there anything else that I had on my dome before I go. You know, it's been a pretty good okay week. I can't complain. I really can't complain. Even though it's been some things that I've been dealing with on the inside that I can't talk about on here, but you know, I just can't complain. I just gotta continue to be happy and thankful. I ain't gonna lie to you. A brother over here is really really thankful. You know, some things is going to happen for me. You know, I just gotta have faith within myself and know that no matter what happens, no matter how far or how hard it may seem, you can do it just like everybody else. No matter the naysayers and doubters, John can do it. John can do it. I know I can. And so, I ain't gonna lie, I'm a little excited, but at the same time, I'm still nervous. Because I'm telling you guys, I'm telling you, when I make this choice, there's no coming back. There's no coming back to this and that I've been used to for all of these years. There's no coming back to that. I'm serious. You know, I can't live like I am a retiree. I can't do that. I just can't, and I gotta make the choice for me. But on that note, you guys be blessed and not stressed, and we will catch up with you guys. Well, not we. I'm talking in third person. That's weird. I will catch up back up with you later on, you guys. All right, you guys. Good night. And what you said before you go? Said 4 different outcomes you have to do something different. Yes, right. Got to. That's right, Johnny Mac. Y'all have a good night. Peace, you guys. Blessings. Wishing nothing but blessings. Pray over yourselves, you guys. Peace.